Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Jared Moon. The Garage Gym Athlete Podcast is a result of my desire to build better humans, unequivocal coaches, and autonomous athletes. I've spent the last several years obsessing over program design, nutrition, and every other way you can optimize human performance. This podcast distills the latest scientific research with what I've learned and blends it with the not-so-scientific field of mental toughness. We are here to build you into a dangerously effective athlete. If you enjoy this podcast, you can find out more about our training at garagegymathlete.com. And if you want to pursue more into the field of coaching and programming, head to endof3fitness.com. Thanks for listening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. Jared Moon here with Joe Courtney. What's up, Joe?
What is up, Jared?
Not much. And we have Scott. I got to do it. Dombroski.
What's up?
Yeah. How you doing, man? I'm just excited to have you on.
Yeah, I'm doing very well. Very well. It's July in northern Michigan, or almost July in northern Michigan.
So the weather's finally bearable.
You got it.
I can actually go there.
So if anyone listening is unfamiliar, so Scott has been on before back, I don't know, it's been over a year, I'm pretty sure. And we talked about Ironman, your Ironman 70.3, is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah, man. So let's, we can get into some of the more, typical stuff, but I want to know what's changed and how training's been, get more of an update with you on this one. So how's training been since the last time we chatted on the podcast?
Training's been fantastic. I believe since the last time I did do a cycle of Hard to Kill, but pretty much been an endure guy from that point on. I've come to have a pretty dang good love for cycling recently. So I did invest in a speed bike. That has been really fun to see how much better you can get at cycling by just purchasing.
Right. Equipment goes a long way.
But yeah, no, training's been really good. Consistency has ramped up very well, all in time for not being able to have a season, but that's good. I'll just be all the better for next season when we can have races again.
That much stronger, right?
Exactly.
So what were you planning to hit a bunch of, were you going to do another Ironman? What was your schedule looking like?
Yeah, I had a few triathlons on the book. One is still a go as of now. Here in northern Michigan, we haven't shut down, haven't been hit as hard as some of the more condensed populations. But everything Ironman wise, I did have another one on the books this summer. That's all been canceled. And then, yeah, I've done some virtual things. That has been fun, but it's always fun to have those, big events kind of on the calendar to look forward to.
Yeah, how are these virtual things working? Because they're trying to get me to do the virtual 100-mile bike race, but I just I don't know, man. I don't feel like it's going to work. How have they been for you?
They've been fun. I don't stick to them. It's kind of like I'll switch out a Meet Yourself Saturday for a virtual event when I do them. And for the triathlon virtuals, that's all I've done. It's been essentially like a sprint or a shorter distance run, and then a bike, and then a longer distance run. They didn't actually have a swim involved in the virtuals, but it's kind of cool to compare your times against others, even though that's as crazy as it is. Some are doing it indoor on a bike that's just tracking or on a treadmill versus you could be doing it out on hills. So it's just something to do, I guess. Another little thing to compare yourself to other people, other athletes out there.
Yeah, there's a drastic difference between actual bike and stationary bike on what your average splits would be and time and all that stuff.
Yeah, I can't really get down what's the best resistance level. So I feel like I'm cheating sometimes because it's either going to be way too easy resistance or way too much, or I don't know how that works. It's just all mine has is a plus or minus, which is fine. I still try and make it difficult, but if I'm cruising at like 26 miles an hour, I'm like, is this too fast? Should I be going this fast?
Just a slight downhill grade.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Yeah. Like I hit 30 miles per hour on a bike ride. Yeah. I'm going downhill like 31, 32. Like that's the only time I see numbers that high is like, oh, this is the biggest hill in my town. Great. We're going to hit that. So 26 to maintain that average is crazy. I would say, not to go off too much of a tangent, but I would say look at RPM, and Scott might even be more well-versed in this stuff than me, but I think if whatever resistance you can hold around 80 RPM would be, if it even reports RPM, would probably be like the most accurate thing that you could do on the bike.
That's how I kind of cadence is my big one when it comes to cycling, is try and stick at the closest resistance or the best resistance I can on an indoor cycle while keeping about that cadence. Do
you have RPM, Joe?
I have no idea. I don't remember what my bike was.
I don't even remember what it looks like. It's been so long.
I think I did have RPMs. Yeah. I think I was trying to keep it like 90 to 100 when I do my longer rides. I don't remember though. I'll have to see.
Cool. So, are you was that the barn gym, man?
There was. I got a dog that's not cooperating, so he's gonna get free reign of the yard here. But yes.
So how big is this barn?
60 feet by 40 feet is the actual dimension. The usage of it, I use about, 3/4 of it as far as like training goes. You can kind of see like most of the resistance is all kind of resistance stuff is here. And then, this is really nice come those cold times when I've got this just a great distance to cover my lunges and my weighted carries, and it's not freezing outside.
It's
just freezing in here.
Yeah.
Just less snow.
Need a fireplace in there or something.
Awesome. So what do you use the rest of it for? Just like life? You got a tractor or something?
On the other side of that is horse stalls. It's really storage right now. I offer storage to some friends and family. At some point it will be used for livestock. Yes. That's
awesome, man. Quite a compound you're building there.
It's pretty nice. I enjoy it.
So let's go over, we just kind of saw it, but have you upgraded any equipment since last time we chatted, and what do you have?
As far as upgrading actual weightlifting equipment, no. Like I mentioned earlier, this has been the biggest upgrade to my training, has just been an actual road bike. But no, I've got the same pretty much setup. We've got 2 racks. I pretty much use the wall mount rack exclusively, and then this one's for Fit Week because I've got something to catch me when I fail. And then the bench press isn't used very frequently, but got a nice little setup over there for that.
Good place to hang your hoodie.
That wall mount rack, what company makes that one?
This one's a Pure Strength. I don't know if they're still in business. They I got it secondhand for a good deal, and it's got the pull-up bar that kind of shoots up higher, so I can actually get good complete elbow extension before my toes have touched the ground.
I hear you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I have the Rogue wall mount rack, and it's pretty good, but it's got the same. It doesn't have the
angle.
Yeah, the angle pull-up bar, which now I'm like buyer's remorse. I'm like, well, that would have been. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like,
I'm sure they have an attachment for that.
They overpriced. Do. Yeah, it is an attachment. I don't know about the pricing, but definitely.
Yeah, for an extra $1,000, you can.
Yeah,
have it. All right. So, what are some of your goals right now, man?
My goals right now, I really enjoy the triathlon specifically. I was going to say endurance things. I'd like to really get myself out there and kind of see where I am as far as cycling. I know my running stats, but it'd be nice to get into some cycling events to kind of compete there. I enjoy those events. As far as like specific goals right now, upper body strength has been the only thing holding me back from getting to those EO3 competitor standards. And so that's going to be a big focus on this cycle, is just really increasing that status. But
that's awesome. All right. So biggest question I have is really, so you train alone like 100% of the time?
100% of the time is pretty much accurate. I'm never training with anybody unless a occasional friend comes up from downstate and they want to do a long run or a swim, something like that. But my 6 days a week training is done by myself. Yeah.
Okay, so you're sniffing real close to these competitor levels, which is awesome, and it's no easy feat. As Joe knows, it's a very rare accomplishment for someone to maintain all of them. You've been a garage gym athlete for a long time, and you train in a cold weather environment. I'm just saying, you got a lot of things going, and that could be pushing you to not achieving at the level you're achieving. So how do you keep going? How do you exceed? Because we're not even talking about consistency now. We're talking about consistency with, a high end result, because some people put in the work, but they don't see all the results. You're seeing consistency and results. So how do you keep pushing yourself forward for this long and keep making progress?
Yeah. That's a really good question. It really started, it's about having that big why. It's not just, with the triathlons being canceled in groups that I'm a part of on social media, it's just people complaining like, oh, why I wasted all this time training and all this and that. And it's like, okay, at the end of the day, you're still better for doing that. And so I don't view any of training, physically fitness, as a waste of time. And the big why has always been, ever since I became a father, is making sure that I can be healthy for my family, to take care of them, as well as be a good example. Lead by example has always been a big thing of mine. And I know last time on the podcast, I had discussed my occupation, and I deal with a lot of unhealthy individuals on a daily basis. And every day I hear the reasons why you are not supposed to do something, and all the excuses that come with it. Running's terrible on your knees. You're going to have a knee replacement. Working out with resistance training, you're bound to hurt yourself because you lift too much weight. And it's just, there's always these excuses to not do something, but the only ones that really matter are the ones why you should do something. And for me, it comes back to just wanting to be the best version of myself for my loved ones, and hopefully become a good example for a lot more people than just my immediate family.
I love it, man. So
it's funny that I get being frustrated when your event is canceled, but to have the reaction is like, oh man, I just wasted 6 months of training. I could have just been lazy these last 6 months.
Right?
That was just a waste of your, what is that really why you're doing it?
I wonder if there are triathletes not, they're all their season is canceled. So they're like, well, I'm not working out this year. That's
but until next year, I'm sure people that because fitness tests are canceled for the military. I'm sure people are just like, hey, I'll have to test till next year. I'm good.
Well, in the military, I guarantee that's happening.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a rough year for the military next year once they kick those back up. A lot of removals from active duty. Yeah. All right, man. Well, what else? Have we missed anything from last time you were on the podcast to now? Any other big updates or things going on with you?
Oh, the biggest update in my life is expanding the family. We have 2 kids now, and we're have another one coming in October, so a few months away. Looking to add on to that, and a new child in the mix always is a big threat to consistency in training and consistency in sleep, and just all the things you work hard to do as far as getting the children on a schedule and routine. It's again, more reasons why not to do something, but just as long as you have that, the garage gym, I can fit it in whenever, as long as I can keep my eyes open and keep a good intensity. The workout's there. You guys have it programmed for me, so I just got to show up.
Yeah, that's always when you're adding more kids into the mix, it's easy for a lot of people to just use that as like okay, like I'm going to tap out here. I don't need to work out as hard or whatever, but I don't see that happening with you with 3, and it hasn't happened with 2. And, I think some people are just different. I'm glad you have the mentality that you do.
I was always told that when I become a dad. When I first got my job, I wasn't a father, and I was told that, once you have kids, you're just going to get fat, lazy like the rest of us. And it's like, hey, I'm going to do my best not to. But
yeah.
People love to pass on their cop-outs. Like, yeah, I use this one. It worked great for me. I feel great about it. Here, you can just tell people this.
No, I don't have time anymore, right? It's just about not having the time. Well, make it.
Yeah, if people would just it'd be funny if we lived in a world where people were fully honest, be like, I hated working out. I found the perfect excuse to not have to do it anymore. I can eat whatever I want and just drink alcohol every night. It's called having kids. Like, I can just you have kids, and then you don't have to work hard anymore. It's great.
I mean, dad bod is a thing now, so.
Yeah, it's accepted now. I saw a T-shirt brand on one of my social media feeds. It was called Dad Bod. It's like, wow. Yeah. I mean, the guy was jacked in the model, so maybe it's a different thing. But
redefining dad bod, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I want to see if some of these other questions have changed. So, hardest workout you've ever done?
Hardest workout I've ever done recently changed during one of the virtual events I did. I didn't realize how quickly you can get cold when you're doing a 3-hour cycle in 30-degree weather. And my feet, it was we all talk about the meeting yourself, and there's that little voice that always pops up, and that's when you've kind of done it. And I was about halfway in just thinking, this is not smart. Your feet really hurt. Why are you doing this? It's 4:30 in the morning. I had to get the event in before the kids woke up kind of situation. Just kind of talking to myself the entire time after, the second half of it. And realized I was definitely in pain. No major issues, but I had never had such cold feet from a fitness.
Yeah, man. I think I went cycling once in the winter, and it was 45 degrees, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to do that again.
Stupid.
Yeah, because I didn't even. I didn't know. I don't know if there is gear. I like cycling, but I wouldn't consider myself the guy you would go talk to if you want to learn everything you can about cycling. I have a decent bike and I get the work done, but I didn't wear any special clothes for that. I didn't have a windbreaking type material. I was just what I would normally wear in the summer is what I wore when I went on that ride. And I was I did my full ride. It was only about an hour, but I was that was awful. I see why people don't ride as much in the winter. And so I haven't since, even at 30 degrees, I don't think there is any gear that can save you at all.
I found that out. Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that long, and the wind chill factors of you being on a bike. It's just not like running.
It's the speed. Yeah,
you got it. I run all the time in the cold, and it's fine. Just cover your hands, and you're good. But I never thought about the fact that your feet could really, really bear some cold wind for that long a time.
That's a good one. I love that one. All right. And has your answer to this one changed? In your opinion, what's the best activity for building mental toughness?
I still think building mental toughness, you guys have a pretty good formula for it. It's continually challenging yourself, and day in, day out. With reading your book and Kill Comfort, I always, in the last year or so, I've kind of thought I am killing comfort. I've got the fitness built into my routine, but then after reading the book, I realized, that's something I'm going to do. Whether it's, I'm just going to fit it in. Okay, we go camping, I go for a jog, I find something to do. It's no longer going to fit under that umbrella of I'm killing comfort. It's now built into the I've got to do it mentality. And so that continuing to kill comfort. I don't mean to just use the phrase that you have in your book and whatnot, but yeah, that's how you build mental toughness, in my opinion. Continually doing hard things that challenge you on a daily basis for long times.
things you don't want to do. Yeah. Because I'm the same way. And I stress that point in the book is I love training. Like if you told me I didn't have to, work to make money and I could spend any amount of time doing anything I wanted all day, every day, I would work out more than I do now. I would do more of that, and so I love to do that. It's not necessarily a hard thing for me to push forward against. So that leaves me looking for, okay, what is that other thing? Like, where am I not pushing myself in a different area? And that's answering that question is challenging, but rewarding. Now, if you could only have one piece of equipment to train with for the rest of your life, what would it be? And has it changed?
No, it has not changed. I still am a big fan of the barbell, again, assuming it comes with the weights, because there's a lot of different things you can do, and again, I do enjoy my kettlebell. I only have one, so it's not as versatile as the barbell. I can do so many different things with it, but the barbell is number one in my eyes.
Awesome.
You have all kinds of room for lots of fun toys, but what would be something you would want to add?
What I would add, especially since we're doing this in, it's summer now, but all spring when I work out here, I'm just fighting mosquitoes. And I would add, insulation / just a closure to my barn so I could keep all the other stuff out. Pest out. I've got pretty much what I need, the bare necessities. There's some other things I'm sure I'd love, but having a little bit of climate control in the cold months would be nice, as well as keeping critters out.
Yeah, I feel like I would not even thought of mosquitoes without any kind of like cold insulation, but I guess that works too. You can get mosquito nets, but yeah.
Yeah, you could bring that a little bit, get like a beekeeper suit and just start exercising. And
yeah, there you go. That'll keep everything out.
That way you don't have to insulate this 60 by 40 space. That sounds
You're the
expensive.
insulated one.
Just insulate yourself. Yeah, so it's 90 degrees in my hometown today. That would be a test.
Yeah, that'd be epic. That would go right up there with your cold bike ride. Just opposite.
It's the opposite. Yeah. Make sure you have somebody close by to check on you so you don't pass out.
All right, man. A lot of garage gym athletes out there listening to this. And if the answer has changed, awesome. If it hasn't, say it again. What's the best advice you'd give to all the athletes out there listening?
Oh, the best advice I could give athletes out there is to continually push themselves and come up with that big reason. You've got to kind of dive deep inside your brain to come up with why you want to do something. It's got to be a reason that's going to motivate you day in, day out, not just something that once you obtain it, a number on a scale is not going to do it typically. You've got to make sure that you've got that big why, and then the garage gym athlete and the training mentality sets in, and it becomes a part, and you built a habit. It becomes a part of your life. It's not really something that I did my workout today. It's like, okay, it's just something you do, and you check off the list as far as making yourself better day in, day out.
Awesome, Scott. Well, it's a blast having you in the community, man. I like getting these kind of updates and diving more into what you're doing and what you're working on. And I'm excited to, I guess, for 2021 when your season kicks off and we get to hear more about it. But keep plugging away, man. It's always good to hear from you. Thanks for being a part of the community and part of Garage Gym Athlete.
Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for listening to the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. If you want to learn more, go to garagegymathlete.com. You can learn about our training. Let us send you a copy of our book, The Garage Gym Athlete, or you can even get featured on the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. Thanks for listening.